Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be talking about complementary, supplementary, vertical, adjacent, and congruent angles. So similar to these problems that you see up on the screen. Just a reminder, this is the normal version. If you'd like the speedrun version where we go through it pretty quickly, I will link that in the description below. All right, your Ricasso Recap starts now. In 30 seconds or less, here's what you need to know before you start this lesson. Firstly, you should already be familiar with how to name angles and vertexes and the three letters and yada, yada, yada. If you want a refresher on this topic, I will link a video in the description below. Please go watch that before you start this, before you do this lesson. All right, new lesson starts now. Here we go. Adjacent. Adjacent angles just means angles that are right next to each other in the drawing. So for example, 1 and 2 are right next to each other. They are adjacent. But 3 and 1 are not adjacent because they are not side by side, right? The 4 is in the middle. So which angles are adjacent? Are 4 and 2 right next to each other? Nope. Are 2 and 3 right next to each other? Nope. Are 4 and 1 right next to each other? Yes, and process of elimination, this cannot be correct. Okay? So adjacent just means side by side. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, you should have said that angle 6 is adjacent to angle 5. And for the second problem, you should have said that angle BDC is adjacent to ADB. Okay, vertical and congruent angles. So vertical angles, you use a different color here. You need to see the X drawing that they have here. Okay, so there's a lot of lines, and there's actually a few X's. So let's look at this X first. So here's an X. And you're looking at opposite corners of the X. So for example, 4 and 1 are on opposite sides of this X. And so we would say that angle 1 and angle 4 are vertical angles. And they are also congruent. Congruent just means that they're exactly equal. So angle 4 and angle 1 are equal. And for congruent, the math symbol is an equal sign with sort of a squiggle above it. All right, so the way that I read this whole phrase is angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. All right, let's see if we can find some other X's in this drawing. Also, I will mention that technically this and this are also equal. Right? These are opposite sides of the X, but there's too many angles going on, so we can't use it. All right, let's see if we can draw another X here. What about this line and this line? And what opposite pairs do we have? Well, I see 2 and 5 are opposite sides. So angle 2 is congruent to angle 5, and they're vertical angles. All right, and I think that's it for that X. And then there's one more X that we have to see. That would be this line and this line. And here I see that angle 3 and angle 6 are opposites. So angle 3 is congruent to angle 6. And quick reminder here, this red half square here just means that it is a right angle. It's 90 degrees. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video, try these two on your own. When you're ready, unpause and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, you should have said that angle FGA and angle CGD are vertical. And once again, even though it says select all that apply, there is only one correct answer. And for the second problem, a little bit tricky here because when you have this red box there, that 90 degree, that right angle, it also means that this is a right angle. It means that this is a right angle. It means that this is a right angle. Okay, and so that means that DFA, which is 90 degrees, is equal to BFC, which is also a 90 degree angle. All right, supplementary angles. Supplementary means that they add up to 180, or they form basically a straight line. So it says which angle is supplementary to DFA, and let's use our red again here. So DFA, DFA is this angle here. Okay, so DFA is this part. So the question is, which angle here, and let's say that it's going to be adjacent, it's going to be right next to it, is going to make a flat line if we combine the two. And the answer to that, let's use a different color here. And let me make this slightly smaller. Okay, is BFA. All right, and the reason is because this whole angle from here to here is 180 degrees, right? It's a semicircle. It's if you can see, this is now a whole flat line. Okay, so if I combine these two angles, they make 180 degrees. They are supplementary. So the answer, which angle is supplementary to DFA, we would say is angle BFA. I suppose you could have also put angle AFB, whichever one you prefer. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video, try these two on your own. When you're ready, unpause and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, there are 3 correct answers here. And for the second problem, a little bit of a trick here. Okay, these are not side by side, but they are both 90, right? So 90 plus 90 gives me 180. Which angle is supplementary to angle 4? So I see that, I see the right angle symbol here. So that means this is a right angle, it means this is a right angle, and it means this is also a right angle. So supplementary to angle 4 would have to be another right angle, and the only right angle that's in the answers is angle 1. All right, last type for today. Complementary means that they add up to 90 degrees. So which angle is complementary to angle 2? Well, again, we have this red box, so we know that this is a right angle, we know this is a right angle, and we know this is a right angle. So this part right here is a right angle, and it's combined, or it's made up of angle 2 and angle 1. And so which angle is complementary to angle 2? Which one combined with angle 2 will give me a right angle? That would be angle 1. Okay, so let's look at the drawing from the beginning, right? Angle 1 and angle 2 combined give me 90 degrees. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video, try these two on your own. When you're ready, unpause and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, it says, what is an angle that is complementary to BGE? So you could have put angle AGB, or you could have reversed that and said angle BGA. And for the second problem, you should have said that angle 5 and angle 3 are complementary. This one I will explain because it's a little bit tricky. You have to see that all of these, angle 3 plus angle 4 plus angle 5 has to equal 180 degrees, right? Because this is a flat line. So then you know that angle 4 is 90 because of the fact that this one is across a vertical angle with angle 4, so that has to be 90. So then that means that angle 3 plus angle 5 has to also equal 90, right? Because these 3 have to give 180, and one of them is already 90 degrees, so that means the remaining 2 have to add up to 90 degrees, which means they are complementary. All right, that is it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.